We're having all sorts of technical difficulties this morning. We're live. Welcome to MYPB. We're supposed to have music playing right now. Let's see here. That's all connected. That's all connected.
Ready to rock?
Oh, we're ready to rock.
So we're just minus some music today.
We're minus music right now for this millisecond.
There we go.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further more technical difficulties, it's time for another episode of Mind Your Puckin' Business with your host, Jeffrey Krentzman.
Thank you, Dougie Sticks. Good morning. Don't know what happened there. A
Yeah,
little bit
man.
of a rough intro. My headphones are a little bit whacked this morning,
Yeah.
too. I don't know what's going on
Everything
here.
is just whacked
But everything
out
is
for a
whack. Anyway,
second.
welcome to the Mind Your Puckin' Business podcast, coming to you, as always, from the beautiful studios of Undefeated Media here in Bergen
Thank
County,
you,
New
thank you.
Jersey. We welcome you, as always, to the show. This is episode Treinta y Nueve on
Sí.
the Spanish dial.
Sí.
Are your headphones good, Dougie Sticks?
My headphones are good.
Mine
you
are not for some reason, but I'll look into that.
Can we turn them up a little bit?
Sure, go ahead. This is episode Treinta y Nueve, episode number 39 on the Spanish dial. And we welcome you, as always. You can hear us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. And you can email us at any time at mypbshow@gmail.com. That is mypbshow@gmail.com.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh, this is really a rusty morning here. Everything's falling apart on
I
us.
don't know. Right on cue. Yeah,
Right.
my headphones still, for some reason. I don't know. Do we have those backup headphones anywhere in the studio that we usually have?
We do have backup headphones.
Maybe I'll see if
You
it's
don't-
my headphones.
maybe
I don't
it's
know
your
what's going on here this morning. But it would be a good day to get the headphones to work because we have some pretty cool guests coming up this morning. How was your week?
Everything was fine 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, I tell you, we had everything all set. Everything was all good. And then my headphones decided to stay asleep. So
Those don't work, Brian.
how are you doing, Dougie Sticks?
I'm gonna check the ones in the hallway. I'm good. I mean, besides the tremendous amount of stress right now, maybe we also have those white ones right there. Oh, Brian's got them. Our technical difficulties happening right now, but we do have a fun-filled show. Brian's get you those new headphones for you. There we go.
So let's see, is that any better?
Is that better for
Nope.
you?
You don't hear it.
You
at
don't
all.
hear anything.
Nope. Don't hear anything at all. Sorry, Dan. I see you're waiting. We'll bring you on here momentarily.
How do you not hear anything? How about now?
Let me switch it up. Hold on a second.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. A very interesting morning here. I bet you it works now. Bada
And
boom.
it does. There we go. We're
There
good
we
to
go. We're better
So,
now.
welcome to the show. Again, you can hear us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, wherever you want to listen to us. We appreciate the listenership and a lot going on in the hockey world. And we're going to stick with the hockey theme today, as well as our small business summer series spotlight. Say that 5 times fast, Dougie Sticks. And we're going to start with a really awesome guest. We're excited to have him on today because there is really a tremendous amount of stuff to talk about. And that is Dan Rosen, who's been with us before from the NHL.com senior writer, joins us. Let's see if we can bring Dan into the show. Dan, how are you?
I'm good, guys. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you good. Yeah, we had, we haven't had technical difficulties here in the studio in a while. And then, of course,
That was a weird one. Just like
out of
everything
nowhere.
just went short-circuited.
Everything went weird,
Yeah.
but we got you now, so we're good to
Yeah,
go.
I hear you. All good.
How you doing, Dan? All right? How's summer?
Summer's good. When's it going to start? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Summer always goes so fast. That's the thing. And, it's actually kind of the one thing that was nice about having the Stanley Cup Finals a little bit later is we kind of get this expedited offseason. So many things going on now in the summer. I feel like there's so many ways we could talk today. For the summer, it's busy. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Normally we'd be doing this around June 20th instead of July 20th, so
Right.
because the cup would be awarded, we'd have the expansion draft probably right around the 21st and the draft around the 23rd and 24th. So everything's pushed back a month. But next season is going to start pretty much on time, so it's going to be quick, So it's a lot going on in a short period of time, no question about it.
Yeah. So let me get right in. I got a lot of questions for you, a lot of Ranger stuff going on. So why don't we start over the weekend, the Barclay Goodrow trade, which I thought was a good trade. And I was all excited for it. It was kind of a player I wanted him to get. And then I was a little bit leery yesterday when I saw the contract, 6 years at I think it's 3.6 per year. Were you surprised at all at the length of the deal and the amount per year? Or is this what I guess we should expect in the market right now?
Well, I mean, nothing's official yet, so there is that. Look, I think Barclay Goodrow is a winner, and that's what Chris Drury said. He's a winning player. He is he's young enough too, as well. So I like that. He's 28 years old, and he's won the Stanley Cup back-to-back years. Remember, he's the guy who for the San Jose Sharks who scored the overtime goal in Game 7 against Vegas. I mean, he's bigger the game, better Barclay Goodrow plays. You can play him at center. You can play him at wing. You can play him. I like him best as in the role that he was in with Tampa on your third line. I think that's where he fits most. Penalty killing. He probably could play in your second power play unit, but I don't think you want to do that necessarily with the roles that he's going to play. You can start him in games to get the energy as Tampa did. He plays in the last minute of games. He plays in overtime. There's a lot of things to like about Barclay Goodrow, and his game is just coming now. I mean, that's the other thing. So I think, if you can sign him long-term, he's a guy that's going to be an important player on your team for a long time, I think, and never a superstar and never a me-first player, always a team guy. Tampa loved him. If they could keep him, they would have, no question about it. You think about it, they may lose that entire third line with Coleman also a UFA,
Right.
and Johnny Gord, I'd pick him if I was Seattle and Goodrow now with the Rangers. And that might have been their most important line in the entire playoffs. Not the most skilled. We know about Kucherov and everything he does and Point and everything they do. But that line, they don't win without that line. And you look at the teams that win in the NHL these days, they build the third line that looks like that.
Yeah, and that third line or the whole rolling out four lines has been an issue with the Rangers for some years. So I would agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the other Ranger stuff, I read actually right before we went on, there was a report this morning, I think it was Elliot Friedman, that both St. Louis and Nashville seem to be pretty interested in Pavel Buchnevich. There were some rumors over the weekend, I don't know if it was true or not, that there was a deal discussed or maybe it was mentioned with Vancouver straight up for both Horvat, which would have been a great deal because the Rangers need a center. Yeah. It seems like Drury is really open to trading Buchnevich. To me, I think you're probably going to get the most you may ever get for him because his value is higher now than it probably is after this year. Do you think it seems likely that he's out of town?
I do. I've thought that since the end of the season. I've thought that since the middle of the season, to be honest with you, when they were still playing. Look, you got a lot of wingers. The team is loaded with wingers. Lafreniere, Kakko have to get bigger time. Kreider's there as well. You can only play so many guys, and and Panarin, obviously. We can't forget about him. So I just think you got to get what you got to strike while the iron's hot. You got to get and you're right. I think the value for Pavel Buchnevich is high now. He's coming off a strong season. He's an RFA. Teams can control that a little bit with the contract. He's 26 years old, coming into his own as a player. The Rangers will miss him as a player because he's a good player, but you hope you make up for that with Lafreniere taking the next step, Kakko taking the next step, Panarin doing what he does. These are the types of things you have to do. Maybe Kravtsov takes that next step too. Like, they have so many wingers,
right?
That
they do.
Buchnevich is sort of a luxury. And when you need help in other areas, center being one of them, or at the very least, more of those grinding type of wingers like Goodrow, and that in-your-face type of style, plus on D too. Maybe, they need depth on D. You can't just be young all the time on D. You need some veteran depth on D. I think Pavel Buchnevich is a guy you can trade and get some good value for.
Do you think he was? It seems, and some people have said this, that he was a very big locker room presence. If he were to leave, how much of an issue would that be that they lose him in the locker room, or you think someone else, like you just said, steps right up and takes that role?
Yeah, I think Lafreniere's shown a lot of leadership qualities already as a player, and I think he's going to step into a more comfortable role next season. Plus, I like the style that Gerard Gallant plays with how it can mesh with the way Lafreniere can play. I think Lafreniere can be an aggressive player like that, and he's going to get more run in that way, and I think he'll be on the first power play unit in that way too. So I think he can step up in that way. But I think Buchnevich was important for guys like Panarin to assimilate himself, for Kravtsov to assimilate himself, because he's been there. Buchnevich has gone through the learning New York, learning English process. And I think he was helpful in that way. And yeah, he was a presence in the room. He was a jokester in the room. They called him Captain Happy because he was never smiling, but he was always laughing. It was interesting, the way he is. But they have locker room presence guys. True was a big locker room presence guy. I mean, Strome is, Panarin is, Kreider is, Zibanejad is. They have to get the best value they can get for a guy like Buchnevich.
So speaking of, and you give me a good segue there into the next one, which was Ryan Strome. That's another guy that seems to be name is being circled out there. Ottawa being one of the teams that seems interested. To me, you can't really trade Ryan Strome unless you're bringing a center back, as with him being a center, and that's kind of the position the Rangers need. As you said, they have a lot of wingers. So Ryan Strome being shopped, I almost feel like you need to bring a center back, or else I guess you're going to. The way the roster would be now, Philip Hedl is slotting up to the number 2 center, and I'm not sure that's the right answer.
No,
so so that leads us to the Jack Eichel situation. Now I like Jack Eichel. He went to Boston University, which is where I went. I was a fan of him. I followed him in his freshman year, and I like him. I'm not sure it's the right thing right now for the Rangers to do, because if you believe that the window of opportunity is going to open for this team in the next 3 to 5 years, which I believe and seems that we all do, then there really shouldn't be a massive need to add him. What do you think is going to happen here with Jack Eichel?
See, that's a really interesting question, because there's so many layers with Eichel because of the injury. And he's dealing with a neck injury right now that might require a surgery that's never been done on a hockey player, on a National Hockey League player before. And Eichel, if you remember, a couple of months ago has talked about a disconnect between what he wants and what the Sabres want. The Sabres want a rehab. He wants the surgery. The Sabres want no part of that surgery because, again, it's never been done before, and they don't want to use their best player as a guinea pig for that type of surgery. And it could work out great. We haven't heard much on that front in a while. I think Eichel's gone. I do. I mean, I don't see how, right, if you're Kevin Adams, the GM, or if you're Jack Eichel, you can bring that back into your room as the captain of your team. I don't see how that works. And you can't strip the C off him either. It doesn't make sense to do that because you might as well just trade him at that point. So I think he's gone. The Rangers certainly make sense from a fit and need standpoint. But what are you giving up? To me, if I'm Buffalo, I start that conversation with Keandre Miller. That's where it starts. Now, if I'm the Rangers, that's where it ends. I wouldn't trade Keandre Miller in that conversation. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't trade Lafreniere. I would probably trade Kakko. But again, you're dealing with an injured player. Is Jack Eichel going to have the surgery or not? Is Jack Eichel going to be ready to play at the start of next season? I don't know. Is he going to play at all next season? I don't know. Is he going to be like the Kucherov type player where he goes on LTIR for the entire season and you hope you make the playoffs and he comes back for the playoffs because he has a surgery that we don't know the rehab? So many layers to this question. I do think he gets traded. I'm not sure that the Rangers are going to be the team that make that move because it's a lot to give up for a young team. And you're not even 100% sure if you're going to get him to play this season.
I do feel, and this is not a knock on Jeff Gordon at all, but I do feel that Drury, from some of the stuff I've read, I think Larry Brooks put it out there right when he was hired, does a tremendous amount of due diligence and dots his I's and crosses his T's. Yeah. So I think some of these points that you're saying, which are really accurate and good, Chris Drury is going to do. And I agree. I'm not sure he's the best fit here. And you're right. A lot of these players, you're not going to take Lafreniere, obviously, Lafreniere. You're not going to take Keandre Miller. I mean, there's just a lot of players that the Rangers have that are untouchable. And then there are other names, obviously Panarin, you would never give up. So I'm not sure unless you were going to give a package with draft picks. I don't think there's a lot you want to give up on your roster right now.
No, I agree with you. And I don't see any problem for the Rangers to run it back with Strome and Panarin again and Zibanejad and Kreider and Lafreniere. You can run a line out there that's got Panarin, Strome, and Kakko, and you can run a line out there that's got Kreider, Zibanejad, and Lafreniere, right? And there's your top six, and then that's good. That's really good. That's a really good top six. Okay,
that's a very good top six.
You need to fill in. That's their issue. That's why they went out and got Gaudreau, right? I mean, they have to fill in. You have Hedel, you have Kravtsov. Kravtsov can play on a third line. That's okay. It won't be the same type of Coleman, Gaudreau, Gord line, but Kravtsov has shown, I think, a little bit of that style. But you need to fill in more and more and more and more from there. And I don't think you need to make the giant splash to trade off of, what you've built here to acquire a Jack Eichel when you have a pretty good top six to begin with, and you just got to fill in and make it a team that's hard to play against. They weren't hard to play against last year. Gerard Gallant wants them to be hard to play against, and that's the style that he wants to play. And Chris Drury has talked about the need to be hard to play against, more in your face. That's why they went out and got a Gaudreau. I could see them going out and signing a Zach Hyman type player too, because he is that type of guy.
Yeah, speaking of Gerard Gallant, now you haven't been on the show since actually the beginning of the season. So in March, I was not thrilled with things with the Rangers, and I said on the show, they need to go out and contact Gerard Gallant. What happened in Vegas, I mean, how this guy was a free agent in the coaching market for so long is a mystery to me. But it's also a concern to me. Like, how did he last so long and with coaching jobs available? Should we be concerned about that, or should we just see the Gerard Gallant that we all want to see, which is what happened in Vegas? I mean, he also did well in Florida when he was there as well.
Yeah, I think you don't need to necessarily be worried about that. I think, for one, some of these teams that had openings went with guys that were already within the system. I mean, Minnesota brought in Dean Evison. Buffalo brought in Don Granato. So there's some of those things that are there that teams just went with more comfort, I guess, if you will, with them. Gerard Gallant was really good in Vegas. I was surprised that he was let go. I really was. Yep. And I don't think I think Pete DeBoer is a good coach, but I don't think they're any better off with Pete DeBoer than they were with Gerard Gallant.
I don't think they are either.
And I think Gallant, you look what he did in Florida too. It wasn't a great team when he was there, but he built Barkov and Huberdeau and Ekblad into what they are now. He was a big part of that as well. And I was stunned that he was let go there as well. That was a crazy time to begin with, obviously. This is a good coach. He's been a good coach. He just took a team in Canada into the World Championships. They lost the first couple of games. They responded, they rebounded, they win gold at the World Championships. I like him as a coach. He's a no-nonsense guy. From everything I've been told, and I've talked to a number of people around him that know him well, he will not ask players to do anything that he didn't already do in the National Hockey League. And I think there is something to be said for players now to know that the coach has done what he's asking them to do. And it makes a difference when you're trying to build a camaraderie. John Cooper did that. He didn't do what some of these players did. He never played in the NHL, but he came up with all these young guys like Killorn and the group that's there in Tampa, and that helped. But Gallant's coming into a team that's got young players and veteran players. They all know that he's played in the National Hockey League and has taken a team to a Stanley Cup final and has won the World Championship and whatnot. So there's immediate respect there. I like him. I think he's a good coach. I love the style that he plays, and the Rangers need to build their team around that style.
Yep, and then with the top six that you mentioned as well, if they can play that style, they're going to be hard to play against and can score a lot of goals.
Got to be more straight line. You got to be a little more straight line to do it. But and David Quinn was trying to get him to do that all year this past season, and I couldn't get him to do it. I'm not saying that they can't. I think Gerard might give them a little more freedom than what David was doing at times. But look, I mean, he's going to ask Zibanejad to get in on the forecheck and play fast. He's going to ask Panarin to get in on the forecheck and play fast. That's what they're going to have to do.
Is this a big year? And I know we're not really at the season yet, but you just made me think of the question for Capo Caco. I mean, you got to now, this is year 3. Now, again, you haven't really played a full NHL season. The first one got cut off after 70 games when they got shut down out in Colorado. Obviously, this year was the Corona divisions, if you want to call it that. Is this a big year now where Capo's got to really take that next jump to show us something why this whole Hughes versus Caco 1-2 debate was there?
Yeah, it's a big year for Hughes, too. That's the other thing, too, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we have to look at it that way, too. It's not like he's lit the world on fire either in the National Hockey League either. So I think it's a big year. It's a big year for Kakko because it's a contract year. I mean, his entry-level deal, this is the last year of his entry-level deal. He's a restricted free agent after this season. They're going to, if they don't trade him, he's going to be there for a while. So, but it is a big year for him. He's got to show a little bit more, but he's got to get the opportunity, I think, to show more. And here's the thing. I think Kakko took steps last year. I thought his game developed last year. The scoring did not necessarily come with it. But that I also think comes with, the opportunity to play up and to play on the, regularly on the power play. And so that has got to come. That's what he has to earn this season. He did not earn that in his rookie season. He started to earn it this past season, but the scoring didn't necessarily jump with him. It started to creep a little bit, but he's got to take a jump in scoring. And to do that, he needs to earn the opportunity to play with Strome and Panarin or play with Kreider and Zibanejad.
Right.
That's why you got to trade Buchnevich.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, again, the value's higher now than it probably will ever be. Last Ranger question before I ask you two expansion draft questions. Last Ranger question of the day. Who do you think is going to Seattle tomorrow night in the Pacific Northwest? I would think it's probably Blackwell or Gauthier, and I always pronounce his name wrong. I would assume it's one of those two. Who would you think?
I think it's going to – I agree that it would be one of those two. My choice would be Blackwell because of the versatility that he has. And he showed that he has a nose for the net. But I think Ron Francis was the GM who drafted Julien Gauthier with the Carolina Hurricanes. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was Gauthier and they give him the opportunity to finally get a run in the National Hockey League. It's a big power forward who hasn't played like a power forward in the league. He's played like that, a scoring power forward in the American Hockey League, but his game is not translated to the National Hockey League. He hasn't been able to develop him into a middle six forward. He's been a top guy in the AHL, but hasn't developed his game into being a middle six player in the NHL, which is what he should be. And Ron Francis I think Ron Francis was the GM that drafted him, so I would not be surprised if he picked him again to take him to Seattle.
And the Brett Howden trade over the weekend was addition by subtraction. And I have to give you credit because I saw the trade and I was looking up, literally was about to look up the defenseman. They came back from Vegas and you had put out within seconds that he was never going to sign here, that it was. So I give you credit on that. You saved me some research. So which is fine. That's addition by subtraction. All right. Last two questions. Let me, I had a devil's question from a friend. Do you think they would like PK Subban to be headed to the Pacific Northwest tomorrow night? To me, it's 50-50. I feel like, there are reasons they should take him. There's also reasons they shouldn't. Do you think PK Subban is still a devil at the end of tomorrow night?
I do. I do think he's still a devil at the end of the night. I understand the reasons why Seattle should take him. I do. It's a big cap hit to take, though, that for a defenseman who's north of 30 and may not have much of a future with Seattle beyond the next year or two. Okay, so that's a lot to take on. But he's energetic. He would come with he's marketable. He would come and he would flood the market with PK and they would love it and eat it up. And that would be great for their fan base. But what's better for their fan base is to build a team that can have sustained success for years. And while PK would be great for a starter, I don't think PK is great at this time for sustained success. I do think he can still play. I think he's still a good player, but I would not be taking him if I was Ron Francis. The other thing about it is Ron Francis, if you remember his time as a GM in Carolina, he's a very conservative general manager. And I don't think PK fits into the conservative approach.
Right. Definitely not. That would not be PK's middle name, as I'm following him on Instagram last week in Italy, running into bars without a shirt on as Italy won the Euro.
I love it, though. We want personality,
fun to watch.
Right? It's fantastic.
Yes. Last question for you. Also, the expansion draft. What do you think? Carrie Price is a Seattle member by the end of the night tomorrow night.
See, I would have said yes. Then we find out he might be injured, right, and might be dealing with some injury, a knee or a hip, or might require surgery or not. Due diligence is required in this for Ron Francis. But if Carrie Price maybe just needs some rehab to an injury that happened through the course of the season, and he's going to be okay come September, I take him. Because look at the blueprint that Vegas had. What happened with Vegas? They built a solid team around the players that were available to them and trades that they could make, but they don't go anywhere without Marc-Andre Fleury. They don't. That first year, they don't go anywhere without goaltending. It is the most important. George McPhee said it to one of my colleagues, Emily Benjamin. It is the most important position on your team. It is the most important position in the league. And yeah, I would take Carrie Price if he's ready to go. Plus, Carrie Price, being a Western guy, his wife is from the area. He knows it. It's a big market. You can sell Carrie Price to your fans. Sell jerseys, all kinds of things. It would be great for that. But he will give the Seattle Kraken a chance to win every single time he's in the net. And that's what they want. They don't want to be wondering. This is the most important position. I absolutely would do it if we know that he is going to be healthy.
Something. Well, thank you. I agree. It will be interesting tomorrow night. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun to watch this whole thing develop and see who they take from all the other 31 clubs. Thanks for joining us, Dan. I certainly appreciate it, and hopefully we will we'll talk again before the NHL season starts, and we can kind of go over whatever the Ranger moves they did do in the offseason. So thanks. Thanks, Dan. And that was Dan Rosen. And we'll put up his Twitter if we're following us online on the video feed or you're watching it back somewhere. That is Dan's Twitter. That is at Dan Rosen NHL. And Dan, like I said, and I said it in the interview to him, does a really, really good job of reporting stuff before you even need to research it. Like over the weekend on Saturday when the Rangers made this trade, I was like, I don't know who this defenseman is coming back from Vegas. I type in his name. There's the report from Dan saying he never will sign with the Rangers.
Wow.
So what'd you think?
Inside scoop. No, it's good stuff. Very, very, a lot of knowledge right there. A lot of information.
A lot. Yeah. That's
Yes.
a lot of knowledge.
A lot of knowledge
in a short period of time.
Yes. You guys got the inside scoop now.
Yes, you do. And
I think they should take PK.
You think they should take PK Subban? You know, it'll be interesting now. So tomorrow night again, and we've talked about this for weeks here on the show, is when Seattle is going to draft their roster, and they're doing it in a way which is really cool because it will be live on the NHL Network. I believe it's 8:00 tomorrow night, and
Nice.
you will it'll be like a draft. It'll be like the fantasy draft in football that you and I screw up every year. It'll be like that, but you can watch it in real life. So real time. So switching gears here, as we know, we have over the past couple weeks here done our small business summer spotlight series, and we are going to continue that today. Let's see if we can pull them in, and there they go. The wonders of technology when it works. This is Colleen Brace and Rachel Gallant from Fitness with Friends. How are you guys? Can you hear us okay?
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
There we go. When technology works, it's great. So I have to say, for the last 3 weeks, we have done the Small Business Summer Spotlight Series, and we have featured 3 food companies. We did Curbside Confections, we did Derrickle Donuts, and then last week we did FOMO Baking Company. So I think it's very fitting today.
Now we got to burn the calories.
We got to burn the calories from our last 3 guests. So the Colleen and Rachel run Fitness with Friends, and why don't we let Colleen? Why don't you give us a little bit of a background into it?
Yes, well, Rachel and I are very close friends. We have kids, actually the same ages, 2 kids at the same age, and I have an extreme passion for fitness. And about 2 years ago, I left the corporate world after complete burnout and started training with Rachel at the gym, and then our friends decided they wanted to get in on the action, and we started going to people's houses, doing workouts, and then the pandemic hit, and then Rachel can take over from there.
Well, we had to evolve, is to say the least. So we shifted gears and we started doing Zoom workouts, and we decided that we wanted to make it a legit business, like a real live business. So we created Fitness with Friends so that we can help people achieve their goals. And people meaning adults, kids, human beings, anyone who just wants to feel healthy. And so it's been a fun ride, but we continue to evolve as we see the business needs. And it's very interesting. So we have a lot going on right now.
So one of the things that we've talked about here on the show, so we mind your puck in business. Obviously, with the puck in, we do a tremendous amount of hockey, but we do try to do some small business stuff. And one of the stuff that Doug and I have talked about here when we've had business guests on is the importance of having multiple revenue streams, right? You don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Absolutely.
Fitness with Friends does a really good job of this, where they do a bunch of different things. Why don't you tell us, Colleen, about some of the different services that you guys offer, aside from just working out? I know there's more.
Yeah. Well, the business really started adult workouts. And then we saw the need where the kids really needed to be active. So we started doing workouts on Zoom for children. And then we decided, you know what, in the spring, let's bring this outside. We can provide all different types of activities, for the children. We have a cheer class. We have a speed and agility class for kids. And we saw that there really wasn't a lot of companies out there that were multifaceted, where they were doing stuff for adults and stuff for children. And then when the school ended, months ago, we decided, let's do a summer camp for kids. Let's get them active instead of your normal day camp where you're just doing arts and crafts. Let's bring in some sports elements. Let's do some arts and crafts. Let's do some nature. Let's do some STEAM. And that's been very successful as well. And then it just kind of rolled into, people don't really want to go to places to have parties right now. So let's go to your backyard and bring the party to you. Or if you want to have an organized play date with your friends, you can get 10 of your friends and we'll send people there to play old school games like kickball and dodgeball and wiffle ball, things that they don't really they didn't get to do in school this year, and it's been pretty successful. And Rachel, if you want to expand on that.
No, I mean, it's the response has been really great. In addition to that, we've partnered with our mayor's wellness campaign in New Jersey. They have something called mayor's wellness campaigns to keep towns healthy. And so we partnered with our mayor's wellness campaign, and we now are doing adult fitness and kid fitness series. So, we get the town involved, and our passion is really to help our community be healthy. And we're really excited about that. And it's going to continue evolving and growing. We have a lot of great stuff that we're planning for the fall. That's new, additional revenue streams that keeps it really fresh and exciting and with the, market trends, with what people want.
Well, as I said, the additional revenue streams, and it sounds like there's more coming, which is even better. I mean, the more, the better, the better long-term chance for success. So we have, now you can't really see it on camera because the camera really just can do Doug and I, but we have a little studio audience here that watches this. And one of the questions from the guy to my left, when they knew you were coming on today, was coming out of the pandemic weight gain. What is your best advice to looking to lose some of the weight I gained from the pandemic?
Well, I like to say it's always the 80-20 rule. I think we got very complacent during the pandemic, and we didn't really move a lot. People were afraid to go outside, and people really think they need to just be all in to lose weight, where you have to eat perfectly and you have to exercise 7 days a week. That's really not the case. If you make small changes in terms of your diet, or just go for walks 3 times a week, it's really going to go a long way. You can start small, and then once you start to feel good, I think you'll want to do it more.
And then you go to Fitness with Friends and book a class with us.
And as you're saying that, we will put up on the screen right now, for those following the video feed of the program today, fitnesswithfriends.net. That is fitnesswithfriends.net. Now, I believe do we have their Instagram handle? I believe we do. We have it all set to go. And that is Fitness with Friends 1. And that is if you are on the Instagram platform. So we had some other viewers submit questions over the last few days. I'm going to pick a couple random ones, but I'm sure this is easy and elementary for you guys as the pros. So first question, how many days a week do I need to work out if I want to lose weight?
I would recommend 3 to 4. But again, it's, working out is a relative term. Go for a walk every day. If it's 5-10 minutes, just get out of your house. But, if you want to do something a little more rigorous, join us on a Zoom workout, 2 days a week, you'll see some results.
And it doesn't need to be an hour or 45 minutes. You could start with 10-15 minutes of activity, and it just gets your metabolism moving and improving, and you'll see a huge difference from there, and you'll get more energy, creating energy just by moving. So you'll want to do more.
That's definitely a good start. So next question, should I do cardio the same amount of days as weight training? Is one more important than the other?
One is not more important than the other. It's important to do both. So in cardio, again, doesn't have to be going for a 3-mile run. Cardio can be walking your dog. It can be walking up and down stairs in your house. I tend to do laundry and I have an Apple Watch, and now I put it on a workout because for 40 minutes I'm going up and down 4 flights of stairs. So, cardio is very relative term there, but I think they're both very important. But just doing cardio or just doing strength training, you're not going to see a significant change. You really need to combine the two.
Okay. And then last question I'm going to pick out of this little mix here is there a certain diet lifestyle you guys recommend?
I don't believe in diets personally. I don't, Rachel, either.
Absolutely do not believe in diets.
We're more about feeling good. And by feeling good, again, you go back to the 80-20 rule where, there's some days I will have a salad, but then some days I'll have a burger, maybe just not have the bread. And then on the weekends, maybe I'll cheat and I'll go have the burger and fries. But it's really just making smart, healthy choices, looking at the calorie intake on what you're eating, looking at the sugar. Sugar is really where you're going to gain your most weight. If you drink soda, cut it out. You'll lose 5 pounds off the bat if you drink the soda every day and you cut that out. But really just making smarter choices, and you can Google that. We also offer a accountability program. So through Fitness with Friends, there is an opportunity to work with us where we can put you on a workout program and give you, we give you advice on different healthy recipes that you can make, and what you can eat during the week.
So when I graduated college, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I cut out Coca-Cola and I lost 20 pounds that fall just from cutting out soda. Yes, absolutely. I used to drink like 2 liters when I lived in Boston.
2 liters?
It was bad, dude.
So you were like that guy in the movie, like a liter of cola.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. If you look at the sugar intake from soda, it's incredible. So I know Colleen is a big fan of making sure she has only a certain amount of sugar. I don't really watch the sugar. I just know I do it just by gut instinct, intuition. But sugar is a huge culprit of weight gain.
Yes. Best, and these guys know, as you always see for those that watch us all the time. I always have my little unsweetened iced tea next to me. That is where I've gone since my
nice job.
Nice healthy lifestyle changes. All right, so again, just to recap, if you are in the northern New Jersey area or anywhere really, but I know a lot of our listenership from is in northern New Jersey, go check out Fitness with Friends. Again, we're going to put the website up on the screen, fitnesswithfriends.net. There is a variety of different services they offer, whether it be the fitness angle to kids' parties and some other stuff. And keep checking the site because it sounds like you guys are going to be offering some new stuff in the fall, which is always exciting.
We have a parents' night out coming up. So anyone interested in dropping off their kids and going out for dinner or cleaning their house if they want to, whatever they want to do to get the kids out of their hair. I know we love them so much, but sometimes it's good for a little time. So parents' night out, keep them active. We're going to do talent shows, sports, inside sports, movies. It will be fun.
Very
July
cool. 24th. And you can July 24th. That is coming up this weekend on Saturday. So thank you, Colleen and Rachel, for joining us. We'll put up one last time for those that follow on the Instagram platform. That is Fitness with Friends 1, all one word. And we thank you guys for joining. Come back and see us again sometimes, all right?
Thank you. We'd love to.
Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for coming on. And that is Fitness with Friends on our Small Business Summer Spotlight Series. Nice. Now you have a way to burn off the calories from all the stuff that we've been promoting the last couple of weeks, which are all way too much sugar, whether that be curbside confection with candy.
Like a liter of cola will do that to you, Jeff.
Yes. Not proud. So I'm not proud that I used to drink that much soda, but I am proud of the fact that I at least got past those days and made a change.
Yes. It's all about the comeback.
It's all about the comeback. We thank Dan Rosen also from the NHL.com, senior writer today. So insightful. I mean, like, whatever you throw at Dan, The guy's got an
Yeah.
answer like flawless.
Yep.
He doesn't know what question's coming. He doesn't know what I've got up on my screen
Yeah.
here.
This is
And-
not rehearsed.
No, well, you know by the intro today. This is not rehearsed.
Oh, dagger.
This is not,
Dagger.
this is not rehearsed.
Oh,
Well,
man.
you know what? Occasionally it happens. Look,
Yeah.
if technology wise we get like 9 out of 10 shows flawless, and then
Yeah.
you get like a minute of some internet issue,
Okay.
it's gonna happen.
9 out of 10. How about 19 out
19
of
out
20?
of 20. Yeah, it
Yeah, I think
happens.
that's better.
It
Better
happens.
number than 9 out of 10.
You like that better?
Yeah, I like that better.
Okay.
19 out of 20.
Look, whatever works for you, but we'll get it rectified.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and the studios here, by the way, still smell of that fresh Wi-Fi.
Oh, they got the freshest of Wi-Fi.
I mean, it's still got the new Wi-Fi smell.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in today. We didn't really talk a lot today. We just went right into the first guest
We
and the
did.
second guest, but we'll do that next week. Now, next week will be our conclusion of the Small Business Summer Spotlight Series.
Wow.
We will then, I believe, be taking a week off in the beginning of August because I am away. We got to figure this out. I believe that's the plan. And then
All right.
when we come back in August,
Yeah.
which will be exciting, we are really three and a half weeks away from the week 1 of the NFL season, meaning
Wow.
you and I need to do something fantasy football wise to get ready because
Yeah.
that is like
Yeah.
the peak time of the year.
And I recently became addicted to DraftKings and betting,
Right.
so I'm excited for this season.
Right. So basically, we should be concerned about your bank account in December.
I'm winning.
Yeah, this is
And I'm
gambler
gonna,
mentality.
yeah, I've won every game so far for the last 2 weeks. Every bet except for the McGregor one where he broke his ankle. Can't do anything about that.
Nope.
But yeah, tonight we got the Phoenix Suns playing the Bucks, and I think I'm gonna go with the Suns, even though I picked the Bucks the last 2 games and I was right. I'm gonna go with the Suns because they need to win, or else
It's over.
Unless it's over. Yes, it's 3-2.
The NBA Finals, I don't want to get a lot into it because it's not really our forte around here. But you can unfortunately sense what's happening where it's not getting the amount, it's getting coverage, but it's
Yeah.
not getting as much coverage. And it's got to be because it's Milwaukee and Phoenix. You just have 2 markets. I mean, Phoenix is an okay market, but
Yeah.
it's not anything against Milwaukee, but Milwaukee is not a major market.
True.
You're starting to see like a lot of the press coverage. Like if this was the Knicks or the Lakers, or let's say the NBA hit the jackpot, which would have been the Brooklyn Nets and the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
This would have been through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like I'm trying to even figure out what day gets it. So I thank you for letting me know.
It's tonight.
As always, you can thank you, sir. As always, you can send us questions at any time during the week at mypbshow@gmail.com. Thanks for submitting some in this past week. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you listening. Tomorrow night, tune in. Seattle Kraken. You'll have their official roster. We'll know who's going to Seattle. We'll see if Carrie Price and PK Subban are heading out that way, as we talked about with Dan.
Yeah.
And we will recap that next week, along with our finale of our summer series spotlight.
Should we become Seattle fans? And we could say
No.
we've been since the
Nope.
beginning. We were Seattle fans.
Nope. I'm
You're
not
not going to jump ship on your Rangers.
I don't jump ship. Maybe in other sports, but not
Okay.
on the Rangers.
All right.
I stay true to the blue. True blue.
Nice.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we will talk to you next week on our finale of the Small Business Spotlight Series. Have a great week.